Just finish up day 2 of our open week, and it's just good to see our players get back out and go to work after, watching that game there on Saturday, and just had so many opportunities, didn't take advantage of them, and when you don't take advantage of those opportunities, then you end up losing a game. And it wasn't the last play that got us beat, but there's just so many plays within that game that we had a chance to put it away. I think about right before half, we go down and score, then we had a miss interception, which either could have got us 3 points or 7 if we just make an interception. And then we come out the second half and give up 10 points in the second half there on defense. So it was something that you don't ever want to do, because we talk about on defense when he's just shutting down in the fourth quarter. But I had a chance today to talk to David Ash, and he came by, and we just decided, because of his health, and which is always critical, that's the number one concern for all of us, that he's no longer going to want to play football, but he's going to be a part of the team, because I told him I wanted him around the team because that's what he deserves, and he should be a part of this program, and he will continue to be a part of this program. And also Desmond Jackson, he's going to have surgery on his foot. He's going to be a season injury surgery, but he's also going to be a part of it. Good thing about it, he's not going to be an honorary captain so that he can go out for the coin toss. I'm not going to, that's not going to happen. But there's the 2 players that has meant so much for this program, done so much for this program. That's why it's important for them to stay a part of it. But we're going to go out to practice on tomorrow, then give the players a few days off and bounce back on Sunday and get ready for game week with Kansas.
Why don't you raise your hand and get a mic to you? Start over here with Mike.
Charlie, on your conversation with David, is this something that you'd been talking about for a few weeks, and did you get his parents involved, and kind of how receptive was he to calling it quits and not playing again?
Well, he actually came up to me, and he approached me, and the trainers and doctors have been working with him, and we know the concern, and like I said, his health is our major concern. And so when we sat down to talk, it was, Coach, this is what I like to do, and I said, well, I still want you to be a part of it.
Back right, Mike.
Okay, so 2 parts. First, what will David's role be going forward? How will you keep him involved with the team? If you could just elaborate on that. And then, where do you go from here? This obviously changes things. You know for sure that you won't have David on the field.
Well, just him being a part of the program. Our quarterbacks are still young, and him being a quarterback can be just like a coach there on the field, and then he go out to practice and he can work with the younger players. But where we go from here is that, we kind of saw this and just wasn't for sure, but we've been prepared with Tyrone, so Tyrone will continue to be the quarterback, and so we have Gerard backing him up.
Front middle, Brian.
Charlie, just the health of any player I know is important, and David has meant so much to this school. How would you describe his emotions of making what I'm sure had to be a very tough call?
It was a very tough call for him, and you're right, he's very emotional, and he's done a lot for this program, been a major part of this university. And with any player, you like for a player to finish his career, because that's why they sign on here, to be a part of something special. But when us making that decision, the health is very important, and he will continue to be a part of it. And that's what I told him. As long as he stay a part of it, then I know he's not going to be able to play, but still being a part of it would be great for our program.
On your left, Ryan.
Is David still experiencing concussion symptoms at all, or is he okay and this is just a precautionary thing?
I don't know that, Ryan. I don't know that.
Kirk.
No. Charlie, will this affect the use of Gerard Hurd any, and maybe getting him snaps, since now he's one play away from being the starter?
No, well, you just have to go with Tyrone as long as we can, and if something was to happen, then Gerard's available. Because the way we set up practice is, with the ones they get 6, with the 2s they get 6 whenever we practice. So he's already locked in and focused, and it is all about his preparation. But we're getting him prepared to play in case something does happen to Tyrone.
So will you like to get him some snaps just to acclimate him?
Well, it depends on the flow of the game and how things go.
On your right, Anwar.
Hey, Coach, I'm sure that had to be an emotional conversation, you know, for David. What kind of message did you try to convey to him at that point?
Well, what I told him, I said that, you know, that's been our concern the whole time, and there was no way that we were going to let you back out on the field, but we were going to be concerned about your health. But I said that what's critical for you and what's going to be very important is you just stay a part of it, because a lot of times when the players get injured, then they feel like that, you know, they've been pushed aside, and that's what we're not going to allow that to happen. I said, I want you to continue to come to meetings like you do. I want you to come to practice. And even if we travel, you know, I can take him on a trip, but I want him to just stay involved and stay in tune with the program.
On your left, Jeff.
Charlie, just on Tank with the foot injury, is it too early to be thinking about redshirt year, or do you just kind of take that process as it comes?
Well, we'll take the process as it comes, and if it's a season-ending injury, then we know a red shirt is available, and so we will have that discussion with him. You know, with him being a senior and having an opportunity to come back, then you know it's always good.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Brian.
Joe, I don't imagine this changes the depth too much. You still have Malcolm, Hassan Rizzo, which is what is your thoughts on the depth at tackle now?
Well, what happens? You still have Malcolm, and then you have Ridgeway at tackle, and then inside there you have Boyette and you have Norman, and so you still have the you know, you don't want to ever lose a really good player like Tank, but you still have some guys, and now you know it's just about another guy stepping up and filling in. But the great thing about it, the defensive tackle, you have a lot of depth.
On your right, Anwar.
You know, Coach, obviously you had that same situation in Louisville with Will Stein. You know, tell me what you guys were able to do so successful with Teddy that you guys are kind of trying to implement here with Tyrone in that similar situation.
You know, the key thing with Tyrone is he just continues to get better and better each and every game, and he's making the throws. And what you really like with him now is just his whole focus and his preparation, how he approaches the game now, because he knows that he is the starter. And as he continues to develop, then the players around him needs to get better also. When we're talking about a wide receiver, running back, and offensive line, and I think that once that happens, then his game is just going to elevate even more.
On your left, Ryan.
Charlie, have you determined if you'll get any of the suspended players back for Kansas?
I haven't made that decision yet, Ryan.
In the back, Mike.
Charlie, can you recount how the team reacted when you told them about the David Ash news?
No, I haven't really. You know, they all know. I think they because David's around them, so they kind of know what's going on. And they know how much he meant to this program. And then it's all about just their relationship with him and just how much that he's been involved. Because he, you know, when you see him on the sideline, he's involved, he's at practice, he's in the meeting, so they understand.
But do you think that they already expected that he was no longer going to play anymore?
Well, I just think that their concern is also his health. So that if it was one of them, they would feel the same. It's all about protecting the student athlete.
On your left, Mike.
Charlie, looking at the film from UCLA, what stood out about Tyrone, and in particular the possession right after you recovered the fumble? That seemed to be a big 3 and out there. Do you have any second thoughts on how you handled that?
Well, Tyrone in the UCLA game played very well. If you see the way he started off, I think he may have been, 7 or 7, 8 or 8, but just making the throws. And what happened with the possession, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes to go in the game when we got that position, and we've been moving the ball with our what we call our rally, and so we was trying to get up on the ball. But it still comes down to, you know, it was second. We get it to 2nd and 5, then we get a tackle for a loss. And then we had to get it to 3rd down. But still, though, that wasn't it was so many things within that game. You know, then we ended up punting the ball, and we allowed to get the big return there also. And there was still 3. We get the ball back with 3 minutes to go in the game. Then we throw a hitch route, and we drop the ball. And then we just try to make, then they get a sack, but we just try to make things happen. But when you get into games like that, and it's just that what needs to happen is we just had to step it up. And even as a coaching staff, we had to be aware of the situation. And the players, we just got to make plays, and we didn't make them at that time.
Charlie, now you got another player lost for this season, and Ash is done. What's your frustration level at this point with all the breaks you've gotten, haven't gotten?
You know, Kurt, I don't get it. It's a part of the game. You can't get frustrated, and you're just hoping that the next player steps up. And you know, like you said, you lose Ash, now Tyrone's been playing well, and now all of a sudden you lose Tank, who's, when I talk about the dash down the middle, how strong you have to be. You lose, you know, that core right there in the middle. But now Boyette has a chance to really step up. Norman has a chance, and we played we played Ridgeway in there some the other night also. So I think that we have enough defensive linemen where we can move guys around and just get them in position. And it's just about us just making sure that right down the middle we have to stay strong.
Emotionally for you?
Oh, you know what, Kurt, I don't. I just, you know, just take it day by day.
Back, Anthony.
We all do, Coach. 2 in a row, Coach. Are you going to go easy or hard on these guys? And they were 1-2 last year at this point, and we're 30 minutes away from a Big 12 title. Do you talk about that deja vu with them again?
No, because we 2 in a row as in 2 practices. We haven't been going hard. What I do is, like, now I just go out and just make sure that we just move around, and it's not a lot of just work. We're working, but we're working and making sure that we getting done what we need to get done as far as in the red zone, as far as in the goal line, third down. We're working on just different situations right now. But they know that once we start conference play, now everything counts, and so we can't drop. We have to go play well now in the conference.
Right, Mike.
Charlie, 2 weeks ago, the lopsided loss, you have a week of practice, then you nearly beat a top 15 team in UCLA. Obviously, they responded positively in that week after the BYU loss. How have you seen them respond? How do you think that the team's mental state is as you try and get them ready to beat Kansas?
You know what I did is I showed them the tape on Monday, so I gave them Sunday off, and we watched the tape on Monday. And I just showed them plays that we needed to make to go win the game. And so after looking at those plays, you know, they responded really well. And even after the meeting, they could see it. And I think a lot of times when you show it to them and just show exactly what happened, if we just make this play, I mean, we'll step away here, you know, ball goes off our hand, we make that catch or get that interception. But when they see those plays, then they really understand, you know, we're so close, but we have to make those plays, and we win that football game.
In front, Brian.
Joe, do you think Sean and Joe are both at a point where they want to expand the playbook, give Tyrone more verticals, just more wrinkles, I guess?
Well, what we have to do, Brian, is you like to throw the ball vertical, but we also have to protect too. I mean, if we're going to drop back 5 steps and throw it now, we have to make sure we protect Tyrone. I think we dropped back the other night, threw a 5-step, and the guy came off the edge so quick, you know, he never got a chance to set. Remember, he threw the ball, and I think it ended up going inside, and Harris almost makes a heck of a catch, but if he has enough time, if he lays it out, he had ran by the DB. If he lays it out there, then, you know, we probably either, you know, make a big catch right there. But the package is there for Tyrone, and it's not like we cut it down. It's all there for him now. It's all about when we walk into a game, you know, we got to block their front 7 also.
Back, Anthony.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead.
I was just say real quick, is he passing on big plays and going for the shorter stuff?
No, it's there because, I mean, you look at some of his throws now. There are a lot of curl routes. You know, there are smash 7s, which we call a corner route with a smash route. There's hitches and there's drives, but no, they're there. It's just a matter of it's just protecting him and letting him release the ball. It's still about protection also.
Coach, what kind of spark did Jason Hall give you Saturday?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. And I said this in the summer. I told our coaches during when we were going through fall camp, I said that he plays with a lot of emotion, a lot of enthusiasm. And then when you look at the plays he made, he comes in, he gets a sack, and he just like his play because he's so physical. But also he has enough speed where he can go and cover in the middle of the field. But he's a spark because when you play with energy and you play with passion, then everyone feeds off of you. And then that's what he brings with the energy and the passion that he has.
Charlie, just to be clear on Gerard, he hasn't played yet. Is there, in a perfect world, if Tyrone takes every snap the rest away, could you save a red shirt for him? Or do you feel like you need to get him in some kind of game this year?
But, Mike, it's just going to depend, and I can't answer that because, we can get into a game where if we're blowing somebody out, he probably could go in and take some snaps. But also, you got to think about this. You just don't want to play him just to play him also because if you go play someone and then you look back and he played 25 snaps, for a year, then you waste a year on him, then it has to be the right situation when we get him in there.
So you're planning on blowing somebody out?
That's what I said. I said if. Who's that going to be, Brian? I don't know. I don't know either. Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jim.
Coach, on a side note, all this negativity with football going on right now, have high school coaches reached out to you and appreciated the zero tolerance? How have they received this?
Well, I just think that if you look at us, and I always think about that as a coach, that you have core values within your program, you have beliefs within your program, and that if you're going to say that that's what your program is all about, then you have to be about it. And I don't think that you can say one thing and be a different way. You have to be strong about what you truly believe in. And you're right, there's so much happening right now, even on the professional level, and it kind of trickles down to the collegiate level. But as a coach, you can't be afraid to discipline players. You can't be afraid to challenge players because that's what your program. Because in the very end, your only thing you're doing is helping that young man in the long run. Because what's going to happen for him is that he's going to realize that if he had a foundation in college and he had a foundation, because we talk about sports as being discipline and we talk about so much that you can learn. We talk about integrity, you talk about character, and if he has that foundation within that sport, even within college, then it's going to carry on to his life once he leaves college and where he becomes a productive citizen in society and realize there's some things you can't do, but that's the way you was brought up. And so now it becomes a part of him on how he approaches his life and everyday life. But it's so much happening. You're right, it's so negative right now, and it's happening where you don't want to see that within this profession. You would not like for that to happen. But, as a coaching staff, we need to stand up and make decisions and go make the right decisions and not have to worry about what people think. Because it comes down to what you truly believe and how you feel like you're helping that young man. Because, we talk about all the time, hey, we're in this business to help young people. We're in this business to help them change their lives, to make their lives better. Well, that's what it's all about, and that's what we should be doing.
In the back, Anthony, got time for two last.
Coach, I know you and I will still be here 10 years from now, and I know we're anxious I know everyone's talking about Texas, Michigan. How sweet will that be when the Horns and the Wolverines face off again?
I'm just trying to get to Kansas. I'm not worried about 10 years from now with Michigan, but that's a great rival. You look at two outstanding programs that is just so rich in tradition. It's going to be a great matchup.
Last one, Roger.
Charlie, what have you and your coaches seen from the team that you've been stressing about, toughness and playing the way you want to? Maybe the little things, maybe the things in practice that give you an idea that this program's growing the way you want it to.
Well, you think about it, Roger, and you go through fall camp and you're thinking that, hey, we're implementing, it's coming. Then you get to the first game and you play so well. Then you go out to the second game and it's looked like everything we told them just got flushed. And you feel like, oh my God, what happened? And then we're able to bounce back last week and go play, but then we don't go finish. And it's about the finish, and we didn't finish. But showing them the tape and letting them realize, hey, you have to play. It's all about hard work. It's all about the energy. It's all about the effort. It's all about how each and every game we had to approach each game and be prepared and how to focus. And that's what we were not getting, because I think a lot of times players, especially young players, they think that they can just take the field. And because we're the University of Texas, I said that's what you do because you get their very best. Because we are the University of Texas. We're going to get their very best. We're going to get it from everybody, no matter who we play. So if you don't come with your A game, then the BYU game could happen to us again if we don't come with our A game. So we have to step it up each and every week, and it's got to be about our toughness, and it's got to be about us being a team. It's not offense, it's not defense, it's not special teams, but it's about us being a team. And once we come together and start believing in it and believing in ourselves, a lot of times we have to believe in ourselves and have confidence and believe in ourselves, and that's what we don't have yet. And that's each and every day just building that. Hey, believe in yourself, believe you can do it, because it can happen, because there's enough within the program where it can be done.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.